I mean, Angel Reese is out there looking like a UFC fighter.
If you're a hoops fan, if you're a basketball fan, and you watch this, I don't give a shit if you are an Angel Reese fan. You can't tell me this is not egregious.
They're doing everything they have to do to sell this league.
Angel Reese has crossed the line, again. This time, in the Unrivaled League, she took things too far, outright assaulting a player in a moment that left fans and analysts stunned.
It looked very intentional, everything that is happening with the Unrivaled League, because all of this stuff transpired, like I stated, just 4 to 5 hours after it was announced that Sabrina was quitting the league. Now, she was not the only one. Lene Hamilton of the New York Liberty also quit the league as well. Now, Kate Martin is definitely still hurt. Angel Reese keep putting up beats on women.
But should we really be surprised? Because this isn't the first time she's done it. From throwing elbows to deliberately injuring opponents, from screaming at referees to ignoring her own teammates, Angel Reese has built a reputation not as a skilled basketball player, but as someone who dominates through aggression, intimidation, and dirty plays. And now we have the footage to prove it.
So Lexi Hull's right here, right? She's going to come out here. She gets the ball. Going to pass it into Angel. Look at this, folks. That's Lexi Hull. Wide ass open. Does she get the ball? Angel not only did not pass the ball back out to Lexi Hull, but she missed another freaking layups.
Today, we expose the truth about Angel Reese's reckless actions on the court, the pattern of behavior that proves this was no accident, and why she's becoming a liability to every team she plays for. Buckle up, because what we're about to show you will change the way you see Angel Reese forever.
This is Angel Reese, the content creator side. It's pretty clear basketball is her top priority. I cannot imagine how anybody could view this athlete in any other way. It's clear basketball is front and foremost. This video has surfaced from, I guess, prior to her last game. Now, keep in mind, in the last game, they lost, and she disappeared in the second half of the game. Went out there, got 4 fouls, went 4 of 10 shooting. This is all helping with things like shooting better from the field and missing layups. She has no rhythm, just like she can't make a layup. Practice layups. OnlyFans incoming.
Angel Reese's latest assault in the Unrivaled League is just another addition to her long list of on-court controversies, and the evidence is impossible to ignore. During a recent game, she took her aggression to another level, delivering a brutal elbow to an opposing player in what can only be described as a reckless and dangerous act.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
The impact left the player visibly shaken, and yet Reese showed no remorse. She simply walked away as if nothing had happened, reinforcing what so many have been saying for months. This is not just a mistake, it's a pattern. A pattern that has been building throughout her career. A pattern that has been excused time and time again, and a pattern that now threatens to define her legacy more than her actual skill on the court.
I think Angel's more concerned about being an influencer, content creator, over being a better basketball player. This was her taking pictures, hanging out with some rappers and producers, etc.
You think you could get a bucket in this format, full court 3-on-3?
You don't think I can get a bucket?
Yeah.
If Angel Reese on my team, yeah.
No, yeah.
The Unrivaled League was supposed to be a fresh opportunity for players to showcase their talent in a different setting. But for Angel Reese, it has become another platform for controversy.
3 weeks into the season and Unrivaled is struggling to sell out a studio that seats 800 people?
At some point, TNT Sports is going to be like, we ain't making no money because we ain't got no ratings. And I mean, they don't have any ratings, and she's not pulling them. She had a game last Saturday, didn't even make 80,000 viewers. This person said you complain about everything. Professional life is different, and you can't seem to handle it.
This incident didn't just happen in the heat of the moment. It was a culmination of everything we've seen from her before. The aggression, the refusal to play within the rules, the need to physically dominate rather than rely on skill. This is who Angel Reese is as a player. And the worst part? This isn't even the first time she's pulled something like this in the Unrivaled League. Just a few games ago, she was seen arguing with referees over obvious calls, pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable.
Have some sportsmanship, seriously. Now, she's still acting up and running her mouth right here. She's pointing out, look, you're running your mouth. Get out of here. The referee said, I'm not listening to your smart-ass mouth. Get out of here. Unbelievable. Black History Month. Y'all know I had to be the first. Seriously. So she just claimed that she got thrown out because she's a victim of racism.
When it's not going well for you, claim racism.
She came out, made it about race, and got crushed.
And in some cases, outright refusing to acknowledge when she committed a foul. It's one thing to be passionate. It's another to disregard the integrity of the game entirely.
She got ejected. She came back, claimed that Sports Illustrated was running clickbait because they put out an article that said Angel Reese became the first player to be ejected from Unrivaled. It's literally not clickbait. It was true. Everything I do keep going viral.
Most players are proud of scoring titles, MVP awards, or making first team All-NBA. Angel Reese is bragging about being the first player ejected from a league that no one is watching.
The league itself has already been struggling with ratings and legitimacy, and moments like these do nothing to help its reputation. Reese isn't lifting the Unrivaled league, she's dragging it into chaos with her antics.
The Unrivaled's ratings have come out. They are real bad. In fact, Angel Reese failed to break 100,000 viewers. Now, tell me again how everybody's tuning in for you. A lot of people are tuning in for that little highlight where she lined up for that wide open top of the key three and then airballed it. She's still getting crushed.
While other players are focused on competing at a high level, she's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. It's clear she thrives on controversy, but when does it stop being entertainment and start becoming a serious problem? Because right now, Angel Reese is walking a fine line between being a competitive player and being an outright danger on the court.
You got to see this clip. Runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind her. No skills.
But let's not forget, this kind of behavior isn't new for Reese. If anything, the Unrivaled League has just given her another opportunity to act out without facing the same level of consequences she would in the WNBA. And we've already seen how much she's willing to push the limits there. Just look at what happened when she was ejected from a Chicago Sky game after arguing with referees and refusing to back down. That wasn't about standing up for herself. It was about challenging authority for the sake of making a scene.
He tweets out, "Free me." Are you kidding me right now? She literally got ejected and threw a fit, a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old, threw a fit on social media. Free me. Like she's trapped. How much money are they paying her? She owns part of the league. She's got equity in the league, and she's not happy.
Unrivaled is paying Angel Reese $250,000 for 8 weeks of her time. The WNBA pays her $73,000 over 5 months. Angel Reese is begging and ready to return to the dump? WNBA players will never be satisfied.
She had a total and complete meltdown. And then talking about free me from a players-owned league you wanted to go play in. Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson set their asses at the house.
And now in this new league, she's doing it again. Except this time, she's adding physical violence into the mix. The way she elbowed that player wasn't just reckless, it was intentional. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew the kind of reaction it would get.
Angel Reese had a total and complete meltdown, not only on the basketball court. What I don't get is the total and complete meltdown that happened on social media.
As you can see, she used proper pronouns when addressing her colleagues in the WNBA. Can't wait to get back to Chicago. Really?
And then says, I can't wait to get back to Chicago, man. This person said, don't do that. You spent days bragging about how great Unrivaled is. I mean, that is garbage. We told you people wasn't going to tune in for this league. We tried to tell you that. Oh, no, watch. Angel's going to ball. You can't argue with 76,000 viewers.
This is how she plays the game. It's not about skill. It's about intimidation. Because the truth is, when Angel Reese actually tries to play basketball the right way, she struggles. She can't consistently hit layups. She panics when she has to make a crucial pass. She refuses to involve her teammates, opting instead to take bad shots and waste possessions.
According to the media, this league is filled with star power. Angel Reese might be well known. Angel Reese may be a star on social media, but there's a huge difference between a star and a draw.
Nobody is coming close to the power of the Caitlin Clark effect. Like, they're just not.
The boil on Caitlin Clark's ass, Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss a layup?
The only way she can gain an advantage is by ensuring her opponents can't play at their best, whether it's through psychological tactics or outright physical assault. And that's exactly what happened in this unrivaled league game. Her pattern of behavior isn't just a problem for her opponents, it's a problem for her own team. When she's not assaulting players, she's arguing with coaches and ignoring teammates.
You can't be selfish, because I see you at the All-Star game before and you wanted to score and not pass the ball.
This guy said, did she really say you can't be selfish when she takes 30 shots and misses 27 of them instead of passing to her teammates?
She's more concerned with proving a point than playing the game the right way. Just a few games ago, she was caught on camera yelling at her coach, showing the same kind of arrogance and defiance that we've come to expect from her. And then there was the moment when she refused to pass to Lexi Hull, instead trying to force her own shot. And of course, she missed. That mistake cost her team the game. But did she take responsibility? Of course not.
Angel Reese said last night to Kaylee Copper, "Girl, bye, you messed up my assist on the 3. Angel stole one of my rebounds. That's not surprising. She stole Camila Cardoso's playing time last year with the Chicago Sky."
Because in Angel Reese's mind, she's never at fault. It's always the referees or the coach or the haters who don't want to see her succeed. The reality is, the only person stopping Angel Reese from being great is Angel Reese. And instead of working on her weaknesses, she doubles down on the only thing she knows: being aggressive, being physical, and making sure her opponents don't get a fair shot. The Unrivaled League is supposed to be about showcasing basketball talent, but right now Angel Reese is turning it into something else entirely. This isn't competition. It's chaos.
Taller than hell out there, can't hit a layup. Get in the lab, shoot 200 layups a day, every single 365 days. Just put the ball in the basket on the first 2 attempts, not the 4th attempt, the first 2 attempts.
And if she's allowed to continue playing like this without consequences, it won't be long before she seriously injures someone. Her elbow in this game was already dangerous enough, and yet the league has barely responded. Why? Because controversy sells. But at what cost? Because the more we allow Angel Reese to get away with these actions, the more emboldened she becomes. This isn't someone who's going to change on her own. This is someone who will keep pushing the limits until she's forced to stop. And based on what we saw in this game, she has no intention of stopping anytime soon. The question now is, how much longer can the basketball world ignore what's happening?
Fans of Angel Reese, Barbie, are upset by commentary from YouTube videos and social media platforms. Angel Reese posted, "Using my name for clicks is literally a drug. We give people what they want. Whatever they want to see." I'm not allowed to talk about her missing layups left and right, but she can go on her podcast and talk about Caitlin Clark or anything else that she wants to. But her supporters, oh, they're mad. Could you hit a rim? Could you not airball to the thousands of people that's watching on TV? It's a pretty poor looking product on television. The announcer simply pretended Angel Reese airball on the 3 didn't happen.
Because this is no longer just about one bad game or one bad decision. This is a pattern of violence, a pattern of disrespect, and a pattern of selfish play that hurts both her opponents and her own teammates. And if we keep turning a blind eye, then what happens when she takes it even further? What happens when the next elbow isn't just an assault, but something worse? Because make no mistake, if she isn't stopped now, that moment is coming. And when it does, everyone will look back at games like this one and wonder why no one stepped in sooner.
But no one's tuning in to watch Angel Reese. It's just not happening. She's not Michael Jordan. She's not Magic Johnson. She's not Larry Bird. She's someone that taunted Caitlin Clark. Those are the facts.
Angel Reese's assault in the Unrivaled League was not just an isolated incident, it was the latest addition to a long list of reckless behaviors that have defined her career. What happened on the court was shocking, but for those who have been paying attention, it wasn't surprising. Time and time again, Reese has proven that when things don't go her way, she resorts to intimidation, violence, and outright dirty plays to try and assert dominance. But here's the truth. This is not dominance. This is desperation. And it's the same kind of desperation we've seen from her before. The elbow she threw in this game wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake. It was exactly what she always does. She plays rough, crosses the line, and then pretends it's just part of the game.
The NFL put this out last night. LSU legends Angel Reese, Jaden Daniels. Do not clump in Jaden with that bum. Angel only a legend in her own mind. A lot of people roasted the legend part. Legend and Angel Reese should never be in the same sentence. Reese wishes she was a legend like Caitlin Clark. Laugh out loud. People are literally reaching for the remote and turning her games off. She didn't even draw 80,000 viewers on a Saturday game.
Look at her history. This is the same player who had to be physically held back from going after a referee in a heated exchange. This is the same player who has been caught on camera screaming at her own coaches when they try to hold her accountable. This is the same player who, instead of owning up to her mistakes, blames everyone else and refuses to take responsibility. Whether it's referees, teammates, or even the fans, Reese always finds a way to deflect from the real issue: her own inability to play the game the right way. In this latest incident, she elbowed a player so aggressively that it looked more like an MMA move than a basketball play. And yet, instead of apologizing or showing any kind of sportsmanship, she acted like nothing happened. The lack of remorse, the entitlement, the sheer arrogance, it all paints a clear picture of who she is on the court.
Hey, hold on. Did y'all get the Angel Reese special?
And the worst part? This is exactly what she wants. Angel Reese thrives off controversy. She wants people talking about her, even if it's for all the wrong reasons. That's why, even after her ejection from this game, she was quick to post cryptic messages online, playing the victim as if she was the one being wronged. This is the same tactic she has used before: create chaos, then act like the world is out to get her. But at what point do we stop letting her get away with this? At what point do we stop excusing these actions as just part of her competitive nature and start calling them what they really are: dangerous, reckless, and completely unacceptable?
Angel showed up with her business out. You can see the business is just everywhere. Chesticles bouncing all over the place. She's not any good at basketball, so she has to show some skin to stay relevant. Angel Reese showed up at these various events, and as you can imagine, the internet did not miss. One could only say, could you cover the chesticles up? She was out everywhere.
And let's not forget, this isn't just about her behavior in the Unrivaled league. The WNBA has seen the same problems from her. In a game between the Chicago Sky and New York Liberty, Reese was ejected after arguing with referees and refusing to back down. It was one of the most blatant examples of her disregard for authority, and it proved that she has no respect for the rules of the game. When she isn't physically attacking players, she's verbally attacking officials, making a scene, and turning every game into a personal battle rather than a team effort. But perhaps the most telling moment of her downfall happened in another game, where she single-handedly cost her team a victory with her selfish play. Late in the fourth quarter, Lexi Hull was wide open, in perfect position to make an easy basket that could have helped turn the game around. But did Reese pass the ball? Of course not. Instead, she chose to force her own shot, completely ignoring the smart basketball play in favor of trying to be the hero. And what happened? She missed. And the team lost. It wasn't just a mistake, it was a perfect example of why she is failing as a professional athlete. When the game is on the line, she doesn't rise to the occasion, she crumbles. And instead of learning from it, she doubles down on her bad habits, refusing to acknowledge that she is hurting her own team.
I see you miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound, box me out.
Yeah. Don't be mad because your fave didn't box her out. That's what I say. Period.
The one thing Angel Reese has not been doing is working on layups, because once again, she was crap last night shooting the ball. If you watch that and don't notice how terrible her basketball play is, then you don't know basketball.
What makes this even worse is that Angel Reese has had every opportunity to change. She has had elite coaching, strong teammates, and all the resources necessary to become a better player. But instead of growing, she continues to make the same mistakes over and over again. Whether it's unnecessary aggression, poor decision-making, or a complete lack of accountability, she refuses to evolve. The result? A player who is becoming more of a liability than an asset. Because here's the thing. There is a big difference between playing with passion and playing with recklessness. Players like A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and even Caitlin Clark play with intensity, but they do it the right way. They channel their energy into making smart plays, lifting their teams, and competing at the highest level. Angel Reese, on the other hand, plays like someone who doesn't trust her own ability. Instead of relying on skill, she relies on intimidation. Instead of focusing on teamwork, she focuses on making every game about herself. This is why her latest assault in the Unrivaled League is so significant. It proves that nothing has changed. She's still the same player who lashes out when things don't go her way. She's still the same player who can't control her emotions.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time.
And now you want sympathy. Where was sympathy for all of those who you exposed your villainness?
But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship. And so you knew they were going to come for you.
She's still the same player who would rather fight than actually play basketball. And the sad reality is, if she doesn't change soon, her career is going to suffer for it. The frustration from fans is reaching an all-time high. People are tired of watching the same mistakes, the same unnecessary drama, and the same reckless behavior. When she first entered the WNBA, there was a lot of hope that she could develop into a true star. But instead of embracing that potential, she has let it go to waste. And now, with each passing game, she is proving more and more that she isn't capable of being the player people once thought she could be.
They released the first television numbers, TNT did, and they're bragging about them because, well, they're the best they've ever been.
Those numbers, just to put into a little bit of perspective, while they seem like, okay, we've got over 312, when you put them in comparison to some of the WNBA numbers, specifically the WNBA numbers that featured Caitlin Clark playing in a game, they are actually very low.
At this point, it's fair to ask, what exactly does Angel Reese bring to the table? Because outside of rebounding, her impact on the game is questionable at best. She can't shoot consistently. She struggles with decision-making. She actively hurts her team by refusing to pass. And worst of all, she brings a level of toxicity that no team should have to deal with. Players like her don't last in the WNBA for long unless they make serious adjustments. Right now, she is on the path to becoming nothing more than a controversial footnote in basketball history. A player known more for her attitude than her achievements. This latest incident in the Unrivaled League should be a wake-up call, not just for Reese, but for the entire basketball world. If she continues down this path, there's only one possible outcome: irrelevance. And based on everything we've seen so far, that day might be coming sooner than she thinks.
Angel Reese opens up about past bad behavior to making money now. Angel Reese opened up on her behavior when she was a child, admitting she hasn't been the best child at times. The WNBA superstar had grown up in Baltimore, Maryland, and was raised by her mother and maternal grandparents, while recalling one incident with a babysitter at one point. On her Instagram stories, Reese had admitted that she had issues with her behavior throughout her childhood, and she would even call the police on multiple occasions when she had disagreements with her babysitter. Speaking on her podcast, she recalled, quote, "My mom used to get pissed. I used to call the police on my babysitter. I was calling the police on her. I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want her watching me. That's why." After multiple incidents with upsetting her mother along with her younger brother, they had become legitimately afraid they would get kicked out of the house. Having a moment in which she changed her mindset. She continued, "Me and my brother, I guess, were so bad. She acts like she drafted paperwork to send us to a foster home. We were on our best behavior. Badass acting kids? What's wrong with you?" I think this is the kind of stuff Angel's best at.
The Unrivaled League was supposed to be a game changer. It was marketed as the future of women's basketball, a new, exciting platform where elite players could showcase their talent in a fast-paced, high-energy environment. But now, just a short time after its launch, the cracks are already showing. The ratings are struggling, the hype is fading, and the competition is nowhere near what was promised. Instead of elevating women's basketball, the Unrivaled League is turning into a chaotic sideshow, and one of the biggest reasons for that failure is Angel Reese. When Reese first joined the league, many assumed she would be a major draw. After all, she had built a massive social media following, and there was an expectation that her presence would bring more viewers to the league. But that hasn't happened. If anything, her involvement has done the opposite. Instead of being known for standout performances, Reese is making headlines for all the wrong reasons: reckless fouls, unsportsmanlike behavior, and a complete inability to deliver in big moments. The reality is, fans aren't tuning in to watch quality basketball anymore. They're watching just to see what kind of controversy Angel Reese is going to spark next. And that is not a sustainable model for success.
Unrivaled had games yesterday. This is their season. They got games tomorrow. Angel Reese, of course, as you can expect, would be in the basketball court, deep in the lab, really putting in work. Except she wasn't. She went to the Super Bowl.
Look at her performances in the Unrivaled League. Has she had moments of solid play? Sure, but overall, her contributions have been underwhelming. When you strip away the media hype, the trash talk, and the on-court theatrics, what are you left with? A player who is struggling to make an impact in a league that was specifically designed to highlight talent. If Reese was supposed to be one of the faces of this new era in women's basketball, then the league is in serious trouble. Because when you actually analyze her numbers, her decision-making, and her overall effect on the game, it becomes painfully clear. She is not helping this league grow. One of the biggest criticisms of Reese's game has always been her lack of offensive consistency, and in the Unrivaled League, that flaw has been exposed on an even bigger stage. The fast-paced 3-on-3 format was supposed to benefit players like her, athletes who thrive in open-court situations, but even with more space to operate and fewer defenders clogging the paint, she still can't finish plays efficiently. She's missing easy layups, taking bad shots, and failing to take advantage of the opportunities that this league provides. At this point, it's not just about bad luck or off nights. It's a pattern that shows she simply doesn't have the offensive skill set to be a dominant player at the professional level. But the problem isn't just her shooting, it's her overall decision-making. Time and time again, she makes the wrong choices in key moments. Instead of passing to an open teammate, she forces up contested shots. Instead of focusing on defense, she gets caught up in unnecessary arguments with referees. Instead of being a leader, she is a distraction. And in a league that is already struggling to gain credibility, having a player like Reese at the forefront is making things even worse.
Angel Reese is never going to improve her basketball skills. Check this out.
I see you miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. You know, I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound, box me out.
Yeah. Don't be mad because your fade didn't box her out. That's what I say.
Period.
I see your miss layups like they do, but forget them. What the fuck do you mean forget them? This is why Angel Reese's game is never going to get better, y'all. Her mom telling her this and her fans are the same exact way. Zero accountability, bro. Imagine this, y'all. You playing basketball in front of the whole world. People have been constantly criticizing your game and you messing up on the court. There's all this film and everything about what you need to do better and what you're messing up on. And your mom is just sitting here telling you, well, forget them.
Just forget them, bro. Like, that's terrible advice. Like we see why Angel Reese is the way that she is. Man, look at how her mom is just talking to her, telling her just forget them, bro. But then y'all are so mad that the world doesn't like her and talk so much shit about her, bro.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, everybody misses layups. I'm so tired of this everybody misses layups thing. Yes, a whole bunch of basketball players miss layups, but people are not missing layups like Angel Reese, bro.
Fact.
Statistically the worst finisher in the league. So that means you're last and at the bottom. So that means you're the worst and nobody is missing like you are. God, this is not rocket science. Angel Reese GPA holders, bro. This is not rocket science, man. This is amazing. Y'all just cannot keep it real with this girl, bro. That's why she looks like an Unrivaled. That clip that just came out with her getting blocked by Breanna Stewart like 3 times or something, and then she finally made this shot, bro. That's why her game looks like it's not even improved at all, man. And then the whole, you gotta box me out to get the, bro, you should be making the shot, bro. Instead of sitting up here talking about, people aren't boxing you out and all of this bullshit. Like, if you make the shot, bro, we wouldn't be even sitting up here talking about these whole rebounds and over and that bullshit, man. But it's crazy, bro. It's crazy I came across that clip. I just saw somebody post it today, and I'm like, damn, bro. No wonder this girl does not take accountability.
Take, for example, her most recent game. In a moment that should have been about basketball, she made it about herself. Again. Instead of focusing on helping her team win, she threw an elbow at an opposing player, earning herself yet another controversy. And what happened after that? She didn't own up to it. She didn't apologize. She didn't show any sign of remorse. Instead, she did what she always does, played the victim, acted like the league was out to get her, and completely ignored the fact that her reckless play could have seriously injured someone. This is the exact kind of behavior that is turning people away from the Unrivaled league. And it's not just Reese who is making things worse, it's the way the league is handling it. Instead of holding her accountable, they are letting her get away with it because they know that controversy brings attention.
Without Caitlin Clark involved, the other players, they don't have anyone to hate. They don't have anyone to be jealous of. Everyone is friends, and friendship makes for bad television.
If I'm the Unrivaled League, I go back to Caitlin Clark and say, what do you need? And then I give it to her. But Caitlin Clark seems beyond that, and that adds to her popularity.
But attention does not equal success. Just because people are talking about the league doesn't mean they respect it. In fact, it's having the opposite effect. More and more people are starting to see the Unrivaled league as a joke, a gimmick league that prioritizes drama over actual basketball.
People thought there was great momentum. People thought Angel Reese could draw. No, nobody wants to watch Angel Reese. Come on.
We know that the WNBA numbers with her and versus the numbers in the WNBA without her also have a major gap. And this really makes us realize the power of Caitlin Clark, the appeal of Caitlin Clark.
And Angel Reese is at the center of that perception. Look at the other players who have already left the league. Some of them saw the direction things were heading and decided it wasn't worth their time. They recognized that this wasn't the competitive, high-quality league they had been promised. It was turning into a playground for players who care more about social media clout than actually improving their game. And who embodies that more than Angel Reese? She is more focused on building her brand than becoming a better player. She is more interested in making headlines than making smart basketball decisions. And now the Unrivaled league is paying the price for attaching itself to someone like her. It's no secret that the league is struggling to maintain its credibility. The ratings aren't what they expected, the talent pool isn't deep enough, and the drama surrounding players like Reese is starting to overshadow everything else. When this league was first announced, the goal was to provide a new opportunity for women's basketball to grow, but instead it's becoming a battleground for players who thrive on controversy. And Angel Reese is leading that charge. So what does this mean for the future of the Unrivaled league? Can it survive with players like Reese bringing constant negative attention, or will it collapse under the weight of its own bad decisions? Right now, things aren't looking good, and if the league doesn't start making changes, If it doesn't start prioritizing actual basketball over manufactured drama, it's only a matter of time before it completely falls apart.
I cannot believe this is actually a clip that somebody put out to try to make her look good. This makes her look terrible. I'm shocked. That was pathetic. And then finally, she makes the layup. We're celebrating that? Really? Angel Reese's team last night won a game. But it just so happens that once again, Angel Reese's teammates have to carry her to a victory.
And when that happens, one thing will be clear. Angel Reese didn't help build the Unrivaled League. She helped destroy it. At this point, the evidence is overwhelming. Angel Reese is not the dominant basketball player she claims to be. Instead of using her time in the Unrivaled League to showcase real skill and growth, she has turned it into a stage for controversy, unsportsmanlike behavior, and reckless play that puts both herself and others at risk. Her recent assault on an opposing player is just the latest in a long string of incidents that prove she doesn't belong at the top of women's basketball. And what's worse, she refuses to change. Time and time again, we've seen her prioritize aggression over skill, conflict over teamwork, and self-promotion over actual improvement. When given the opportunity to rise to the occasion, she crumbles. When faced with constructive criticism, she lashes out. And when she fails, she blames everyone but herself. This isn't the mentality of a true professional athlete. This is the mentality of someone who wants the fame without putting in the work.
We found out what her ranking is. People are pissed because she's too high. Angel Reese, interesting, landed at the number 12 spot. Look, I'm not dumb. I know she's not the 12th best player in the league. She might be like, what, 42? Something like that? I don't know. Another one said, quote, Angel Reese being 12th is disrespectful to literally every other woman in the WNBA. She's easily top 300, but not 12th. Caitlin Clark averaged 0.7 block shots, per game, literally. She's averaging more block shots than Angel Reese. That's hilarious. She's a point guard, by the way.
The truth is, Angel Reese is running out of excuses. She's running out of opportunities to prove that she belongs among the best. The Unrivaled League was supposed to be a chance for her to shine, but instead it has exposed her weaknesses for the world to see. She can't consistently score. She doesn't make smart plays. She refuses to pass to open teammates. And when she realizes she can't dominate with skill, she resorts to dirty plays, hoping to intimidate her opponents into backing down. But here's the thing. True greatness doesn't come from intimidation. It comes from hard work, dedication, and respect for the game. And Angel Reese has shown none of that. Meanwhile, the Unrivaled League itself is crumbling under the weight of its own bad decisions. It promised excitement and elite competition, but instead it has become a league full of drama and controversy. Instead of letting basketball speak for itself, it has relied on players like Reese to generate attention for all the wrong reasons. And now it's clear that this experiment isn't working. The league isn't gaining credibility. It's losing it. Fans aren't tuning in for great games. They're watching just to see what kind of nonsense happens next. And that is not a sustainable model for success.
Taller than hell out there, can't hit a layup. Get in the lab, shoot 200 layups a day, every single 365 days. Is there anybody else in the WNBA or NBA that does this more than Reese? From tonight's game, third quarter, in 16 seconds, Reese took 4 shots, missed the first 3 shots, got an offensive rebound off her own 3 misses, and then finally made the 4th. But, quote, double-double, this looks just like Chicago Sky shit from last year. This dude's a white dude. He's getting called a racist over basketball criticism.
At this rate, it won't be long before the Unrivaled League completely falls apart. And when it does, Angel Reese will have to face the reality that her antics aren't helping her career. They're destroying it. Because once this league is gone, where does she go next? Back to the WNBA, where she's already proving to be a liability. Back to social media, where she spends more time chasing clout than improving her game. The harsh reality is that if Reese doesn't change, she won't have a future in professional basketball. No team wants a player who puts themselves above the game. No team wants a player who brings more controversy than value, and no team wants someone who refuses to grow. So now, the question is simple. Will Angel Reese finally wake up and realize that her reputation is spiraling out of control? Or will she continue down this path until there's nothing left of her career but a highlight reel of missed shots, bad decisions, and reckless fouls? Because right now, the clock is ticking, and if she doesn't make the necessary changes, then she won't just be known as the player who assaulted someone in the Unrivaled League, she'll be known as the player who threw away her own career.
This is her play of the night right here. This is what she needs to do a lot more of for the Sky, for the Rose. That nice little pass out to Lexi Hull, who knocked down the three-pointer. Luckily, nobody was there to see that. I'm sure there wasn't anybody watching on TV either. We can see right here, I don't think my girl Angel has been working on layups at all, bro. I think Angel is focused on everything off the court. Doesn't look like she's polished or added to her game at all. Another season of this, and she'll fade into the woodwork.